Hello there. My name is Dr. Bill Crawford. I'm a psychologist, speaker, corporate trainer, life coach. And this is another in a series of short videos I'm creating to help you bring more meaning to your life. Today I want to talk about the subject of grief or grieving. And what I have found is in the West, this is not a subject we are very comfortable with. I married into a Greek family, and I just noticed how the Mediterranean culture seemed to really be able to let themselves go and feel grief. But here in the West, we kind of see crying or grieving as breaking down or falling to pieces or losing it. We try to stay strong for those around us. And I got to tell you, as a psychologist, as a life coach, that only makes the pain deeper and kind of elongates the experience of grieving. I have some personal experience with this. When I was 21, I lost both of my parents to cancer within around 6 months of each other. I was an only child, and I was also a male in East Texas, didn't know anything about grieving. I just knew I was overwhelmed by this pain that I really couldn't process, so I just shut down. I just stopped feeling altogether. And people would come up to me and say, "You're doing so well. You're being so strong." I was getting a lot of pats on the back for not feeling anything. And it wasn't until I got into my master's degree and Ph.D. in psychology that I learned that not feeling grief is more the problem than the solution. Grieving is actually a natural, normal, healthy way of processing the loss. And what I also recognized is when people are grieving, sometimes they're not just grieving what was lost. For instance, if you get divorced, and you've lost a relationship. And let's assume maybe toward the latter part of that relationship it wasn't so great. You still feel this tremendous sense of loss. The reason that is so deep is because when we're grieving, we're actually grieving a shattered dream. We're not just always grieving what was lost, we're grieving what it could have been. And as a kid, you never really think about your parents dying, certainly not when you're young. As a parent, if you happen to lose a child, boy, that is probably the worst of shattered dreams. But even a job, or this loss of childhood, or this loss of a sense of self or self-respect, all of those are shattered dreams. And if we can begin to see the grieving process, the tears are not our failure to cope. They're the body's natural, normal way of dealing with the loss. When I finally was able to feel that sad and cry for the loss of my parents for the first time in years and years and years, it felt really, really good to feel really, really bad. So I encourage you, if you're dealing with a loss or if you know someone who's dealing with a loss, have them get with someone where they can let go, where they don't have to be strong, where they can feel these natural feelings. I call the tears liquid love because it's generally about something we love or someone we've loved that we've lost. If we can begin to feel really good about feeling really bad, let those tears flow. Let them roll all the way down your cheek, drip onto your clothing. Just boo-hoo as long as you need to. Then what'll happen is we'll come out on the other side relieved, refreshed. It's kind of like having a good cry. You feel better afterwards. It's almost like when a wave of emotion washes over you. If you can just go with that wave versus fighting it, you'll come out on the other side. I hope this has been helpful. I try to keep these videos short. I hope if you or someone you care for is dealing with a loss, you can share some of this information with them. You can go to my website, billcphd.com, or just Google Bill Crawford, Ph.D., and you'll find 2 quotes on grieving the shattered dream. They're on my quote page, they're on my article page. Same thing. So you can find them either way and give you more information about this process. Again, I hope this has been valuable, and I hope these videos are valuable as well. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.